So show me these feather boas and tell me what they represent.
We start each meeting out with what we call Pass the Boa. And I'll get up at the meeting and I'll introduce myself and I'll tell my little story about how I was diagnosed with type 1 5 years ago with a blood glucose level of 780.
Wow.
And I thought myself a fairly intelligent woman until I was faced with the fact of figuring how many units of insulin goes to how many carbs I'm eating. It was really a very scary experience. But you do learn. And all of a sudden one day it clicks in your head, and I want it to click in everybody's head. That's where I'm coming from.
And the boa?
The boa is, we're all divas.
Okay.
We love being divas. We not only talk about diabetes at our meetings, we talk about makeup, hairdos, sex, food, men, whatever.
Fabulous.
That's what we are, fabulous.
Well, I love it. You just kind of exude that whole I'm proud of who I am.
I really am, and I'm very
proud. Happy, it looks
I'm
like.
pro-divabetic.
Yeah. Pro-diabetic.
Right. Pro-diabetic, pro-divabetic.
Pro-divabetic.
And I'm pro-diabetic because it's gotten me healthier.
So what's next?
Next is, my hope is to have Divabetic meetings all over the country. As a matter of fact, we met a woman here today who has a group in Brooklyn, and we're gonna try to wing up together and start a chapter in Brooklyn.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I've often thought people can help each other more. You know, we go to our doctor's office and we're sitting there all by ourselves, and even other diabetics, and we're not even talking, and then you have 8 minutes with your doctor, and
if you're lucky.
Yeah. This is what people really want to help each other, don't you think?
Absolutely. I was diagnosed with type 1 5 years ago.
Type 1?
Type 1, because I never grew up. So I was like in a state because I didn't know anybody else that had diabetes. I had no one to talk to, and doctors don't have the time to really educate you. And all of a sudden, from one day to the next, I had to learn how to give myself injections, count carbs, and become a full-fledged diabetic, which was very difficult. And I blessed the day that I found Max, who introduced me to the Divabetic meeting, where I became acquainted with a lot of women who I became great friends with. And my aim is to get Divabetic meetings all over the country.
That sounds wonderful. How is that going to happen?
Well, Novo promotes this program where they go around to different cities. From those cities, we talk to educators, we show them what we do at the Divabetic meeting, and then they take it on from there. And ultimately, my dream is to have a website where we can all talk to each other and compare notes, and slowly but surely it's happening.
That's great. So what are your plans for the guys like me?
We love to have guys at the meeting. We don't
but come on, this is not a guy thing, this is a woman thing.
But we let the diva come out in the men. And you'd be surprised what we find out.
What?
That men are divas also. But it's basically, it's the women that take care of the family, the women that do the shopping, the women that make sure you're taking your medicine. But, you know, be it you're a type 3, someone who takes care of or lives with someone with diabetes. So meanwhile, it's mostly for women right now, but eventually, I mean, someone asked me if we could do a meeting for kids. So, you know, this, unfortunately, we're going to be hit with an epidemic very soon. And this area is open to men, women, and children.
Well, even if you focus on the women, I mean, that would be enough.
Exactly.
There's
because the women take their messages forward.
10 million of them in the United States
They
with
take
diabetes.
care of the families.
Yeah. So how do they help you get better blood sugars?
Because I really realized that this is up to me. There's no one else that can do it but me, and it's learning how to eat healthy. I am now the healthiest I have been in years because I got diabetes. My cholesterol is under numbers. I'm off cholesterol medication. I've lost weight. I'm exercising. I feel terrific.
And what's your insulin regimen like?
I'm on the pump.
Oh, you're on the pump?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'll flash you.
Sure, let me see the pump. Nice.
I love my pump.
You got the Animus?
Yes, I just got it.
And before that, were you on a pump?
I was on the Medtronic pump.
Okay.
But as you get older, your vision goes, so this screen is really terrific.
You like the big screen.
Right. Plus it lights up, so it acts as a night light at night for me when I have to make a bathroom call.
I see.
But it has helped my A1Cs by being on the pump.
So was it complicated starting exercise? Because when you're on insulin, exercise can give you hypos, and it's complicated, isn't it?
Diabetes is a very people don't realize how complicated diabetes really is. I mean, it affects everyone differently, and it's really interesting. I did a weekend away with two of my friends who were type 1 diabetics. We all ate the same thing. We all took different amounts of insulin. We all had different numbers before eating. We all had different numbers after eating. So
everybody's different.
Everybody's different, and foods affect you differently. And you have to learn what does affect you and what to stay away from.
That's great. So are you a volunteer?
I am.
Do you have a day job?
No, I retired recently, and I decided it's time to give back. I'm very passionate about this because I feel it's education that's very important. People are not educated about diabetes. And what this country and the world is going to be hit with, or we are being hit with, people need to be educated.